In a quiet neighborhood in Mississippi, a chilling mystery unfolded when a young father was found executed in his front yard. This shocking incident has left the community and investigators searching for answers, questioning not only the circumstances surrounding his death, but also the safety and security of their own homes. Today, we delve into the details of this tragic event, exploring the life of the victim, the events leading up to his untimely demise, and the ongoing investigation that has captivated the nation. The victim, a 30-year-old father of two, was well liked in his community. Known for his warm smile and generous spirit, he worked tirelessly to provide for his family. Friends and family described him as a devoted dad, always putting his children first. They remember him spending weekends at the park, coaching Little League games, and hosting barbecues. But beneath this facade of a happy family man lay a life that may have been complicated by unseen forces. On that fateful evening, neighbors reported hearing gunfire, followed by the sound of a vehicle speeding away. It was around 8 p.m., a time when children were still playing outside and families were settling down for the night. Witnesses described a series of loud bangs, an unsettling disturbance that shattered the evening calm. But when they looked out their windows, they saw nothing unusual, until it was too late. The first responders arrived to find the victim lying motionless in his front yard, his body already cold. The scene was grim, marked by the violence that had unfolded in the normally peaceful neighborhood. Investigators found shell casings nearby, indicating that multiple shots had been fired. This was no random act of violence. It appeared to be a calculated execution. As investigators pieced together the timeline of events, they spoke to neighbors and friends, hoping to uncover any clues that might lead to the shooter. They learned that the victim had been acting strangely in the days leading up to his death. He had mentioned feeling uneasy, sensing that someone was watching him. Friends attributed it to stress from work and the pressures of fatherhood, but the police took his concerns seriously. As the investigation progressed, detectives uncovered a web of connections that hinted at a deeper story. The victim had previously been involved in a few minor legal troubles, but nothing that would suggest a motive for murder. However, when they delved into his past, they discovered something troubling: a series of altercations with a local gang. These incidents had not been reported to the police, but whispers in the community suggested that tensions were escalating. The investigators decided to approach the victim's family for more insight. The victim's wife described him as a loving father who had recently become increasingly paranoid. She recalled a specific incident when he had come home late one night, claiming that he had been followed. He had told her that he was scared for his life but didn't want to alarm her. The couple had discussed moving, seeking a safer place for their children, but they were hesitant to leave the community they had called home. This revelation sent chills down the spines of the investigators. Was the victim aware of something that put him in danger? Had he unwittingly crossed a line that put his life at risk? The police felt that they were onto something but needed concrete evidence to pursue their leads. They began to interview known gang members, hoping to find any connection to the victim. It was a dangerous endeavor, one that could have serious repercussions. Days turned into weeks, and the investigation seemed to stall. The community was on edge, living in fear as rumors circulated about the motive behind the murder. Meanwhile, the victim's family held a vigil, hoping for answers and justice. Their pain was palpable, a reminder of the life lost too soon. The local news picked up the story, amplifying the tragedy and stirring emotions throughout Mississippi. People were calling for justice, demanding that the authorities take action. In the midst of the chaos, a significant development occurred. A witness came forward, claiming to have seen a man lurking near the victim's home shortly before the shooting. The description given matched that of a known associate of the gang the victim had clashed with in the past. Investigators quickly tracked him down, but he proved elusive, disappearing into the shadows. This only deepened the mystery. Who was this man, and what role did he play in the execution? The police launched a manhunt, combing through neighborhoods and checking surveillance footage from nearby businesses. Every lead was scrutinized, every tip followed. Yet the man remained at large. With each passing day, the case grew colder, but the community's resolve only strengthened. They rallied together, organizing marches, spreading awareness on social media, and demanding justice for their beloved father, friend, and neighbor. Then, just when it seemed that the investigation might stall indefinitely, a break in the case emerged. An anonymous tip led the police to a location where they discovered a cache of weapons linked to the gang. Among these was a gun matching the caliber of the shells found at the scene of the murder. This find reinvigorated the investigation, as it suggested that the shooting was indeed tied to gang activity. Armed with new evidence, investigators began to connect the dots. They unearthed a series of text messages and phone calls that indicated the victim had been in contact with a former gang member who had turned informant. This individual had been trying to escape the life of crime but feared for his safety. He had warned the victim that he was being targeted, but the victim had dismissed his concerns, believing he could protect his family. The tragic irony was that his effort to stay out of trouble may have led him to a fate he couldn't foresee. As the police closed in on their suspect, the community held its breath. They longed for closure, for answers that could provide a sense of safety once again. Finally, a coordinated effort with local law enforcement led to the arrest of the man believed to be the shooter. In a dramatic turn of events, he was taken into custody, and investigators revealed that the murder had indeed been premeditated, a result of escalating gang tensions and a desire for retaliation against the victim for perceived slights. The suspect's arrest brought a mixture of relief and sorrow to the community. Justice was being served, but the price had been steep. A family was left shattered. 2 children grew up without their father, and the memory of that warm, friendly man now intertwined with tragedy. As the trial began, emotions ran high, and the community continued to rally in support of the victim's family. In a powerful statement, the victim's wife expressed her heartache, saying, "We were just a family trying to live our lives, and now our world has been turned upside down. But we will fight for justice, not just for our husband and father, but for every family in this community." Her words echoed the sentiments of many, emphasizing the need for safety and unity in a world that had become all too dangerous. The trial unfolded with gripping testimonies, revealing the layers of complexity behind the victim's life and the circumstances leading to his execution. The community remained vigilant, attending court hearings and supporting the family, determined to ensure that justice would not only be served, but would also shine a light on the dangers of gang violence that threaten neighborhoods everywhere. As we continue to seek justice for those lost, let us remember that every life is precious, and every community deserves safety and security. The echoes of gunfire should not define our neighborhoods. Instead, the bonds of love and unity should be our guiding force. Thank you for joining us today as we explored this heartbreaking case. If you found this story compelling, please like, share, and subscribe for more in-depth investigations into the stories that shape our world. And remember, stay vigilant, for every community has its secrets, and sometimes the truth is just waiting to be uncovered.